What's up, everyone? How is everyone doing today? Welcome to the Thai Life channel. I am Min Thai, and today I just want to talk about how much nail technician really makes. Like, do you guys ever wonder to yourself, like, how much do we actually bring home? Because I know there's a lot of customer out there. When you guys look at the price of nails, how some people are charging $80, 100, even 200. You guys probably thinking like, wow, nail technician are making great money. But do we really take home that much? Well, let's break it down so we can all have a good understanding how nail technician actually gets paid so that even if you decided to become a nail tech, you at least know, like, okay, this is the process. But before we start the show, let's go ahead and jam up real quick, y'all. Boom, boom, boom. Mm, mm, mm. I get hyped up because that's how you guys enter in a good podcast. You know what I'm saying? Settle down real quick, everyone. So, look, there's a different phase of nail technician that makes different type of money. Not all nail technician makes the same money. When I say there's different phase, this is what I mean. There's a beginning stage where you're new, definitely you're not making good money. And then there's the stage where you bypass a year or two and where you're making okay money. And then there's a phase where you say, you know what, I have a lot of clients and I'm going to venture on my own. And that's where you make a different type of money. And there's another nail tech where they say, you know what, I don't want to just do acrylic or pedicure. I want to specialize in like art, 3D, Dragon Ball Z, everything you can think of. And that's a specialty nail tech. And of course, we also have the salon owner nail tech. So those are different type of nail tech, and they all go through different phase of their career to get where they're at. So to really break it down and have a good understanding how nail technician gets paid, we have to start from phase one, the beginner phase. So before we talk about each phase of the nail salon, let me break it down how we pay nail technician first. So back in the day, and it's still happening now in a lot of states, and there are some states that are not doing commission anymore. So majority of the time, we as nail technician who gets hired by the salon owner or the manager, we will get paid by a commission base. And what's that supposed to mean? It means whatever you do for that client for a service, you will have to split that portion with the owner. And a lot of time, or I'm going to relate to how I grew up as a nail tech, it will be 60-40. That means the nail technician earns 60% and the owner takes 40%. And sometimes depends on the negotiation of the nail technician and their needs of life. Like sometimes the owner will let them stay at their place for a living while they're working. Then maybe the negotiation of the commission can fluctuate. Okay, so I'm just giving you a broad understanding how nail technician gets paid. Now, some state like California, they took the commission out of the picture and they want owner to pay them nail technician by wage, which is hourly or salary, but majority is hourly. So that all depends on the negotiation of between the nail tech and the owner. Now that you guys understand there's two method of getting paid is commission or wage. Majority are commission. And I'm going to talk to y'all about the commission because with wage, y'all know already, is not going to work out good. It's because how do you know how much you're going to pay that nail tech what it's worth for the skill that they put down and determine the hourly pay? So eventually that method it's going to be harder on ownership and employee to try and make that good income. But we're going to focus on that commission base because that is the majority of how nail salon are ran. Okay? So imagine this. You know you getting 60% of your earn for each service that you do. Pedicure, nails, polish change, whatever. So if you were a beginner nail tech, you don't have any client at all. And if you do, it could be your mom, your dad, your friends, your family. That doesn't count because that's not enough to build a good income. So what you do, you go and you work for a busy nail salon. And the reason why you are asking yourself right now, why is the owner taking 40% when you did all the work? Is because most of the salon out there, this is what they offer the nail tech. You have a license, you have a skill set, you bring your skill set, you bring your license to work. I will provide you the light, the AC, the client, the space of work, the spa chair. All of that is provided to you. So in your head, you are thinking to yourself, well, shoot, that's not a bad deal because I don't have no client and I can't rent my own space if I don't have any client. So what do? Let me go work for this person. So now, every service that you do as a nail technician, you get to keep 60%. So let's say you did 2 clients. Each client is $50. 2 client is $100. Or let's say that client did 2 service for $100. They pay you $100. That nail tech keeps $60. And the owner takes $40. That goes to the overhead, the expense. So that makes sense, right? That's how much nail technician gets paid for each time they do their service. They only keep 60%. And that is not excluding tax, Social Security. So technically, out of that $60 that the nail techs earn from you, they only earn around $40 after all the expense and tax. And out of that $100 that you pay them, the service that they gave you was at least 2 hours or more of their time. And they earn $40. So in your head, you probably thinking to yourself, well, if they spend 2 hours and they earn 40, so $20 an hour, that's not bad. That's above minimum wage. That is horrible. Why? Because nail technician should not get paid minimum wage. Nail technician is a skill career. It's an art career. It's like a tattoo artist. Nail is a therapy, and we're getting paid less than a therapist, and y'all still getting your nails done and get to chit chat. Think about it, right? So that is why in the nail industry, tips are important because tips is called gratitude. And I know there's a lot of y'all will argue like, oh, well, tip is not a demand. Tip is not something we have to give. I didn't say you have to give it to the nail tech, but I say it is a nice gratitude to have. Okay? It's just nice to have that extra bucks because the way nail technician lives is that whatever you tip them, they take that tip and they use that tip for gas, food, and whatever that they actually earn from your service, they actually save that for their kids on a rainy day. And that's how they manage, y'all. That's how they manage. So in the beginning, nail technicians, they don't make a lot. They don't have a lot of clients. Sometimes they might do only 2 customers a day and they walk home with $40. And if you really look in perspective, how do you eat and earn just making $40 a day? You see what I'm going with this? Now, once the nail technician passed the first phase of their career, which is the hardest phase, is gaining the client, willing to do it all, willing to say yes to everything, work on your craft, speeding up your time. All of that takes at least a year, sometimes 2 years. And finally, they find stability. They find stability that they can have enough client to support their bills, to even get them gas. So that's called stability. But by that time, it's a little bit easier. Now, as the nail tech grow, of course, they have more clients, they can venture out. And now you're thinking like, well, what about those nail technicians that work for themselves? They don't work for an owner no more, so they don't even have to split the 60% or 40%. They get to keep 100. That's not true, because now, because they own their own little booth, instead of the owner providing them all the solution, all the supply, they have to buy all of that now. Everything's coming out of their pocket, gas, money, everything. They are their own owner of their own business. So technically, even if they charge you a little bit high because they're more private, it is kind of nice to go to a private salon. You get more of the cool work, the cool art, right? But you pay higher dollars. Even if you pay like 150, 200, at the end of the day, you know that 100 that they earn goes into rent, go into all of that cost. But yes, they do earn a little bit more, but you got to think about it. They earn the right to be a private nail tech because they started from the bottom and they worked their way up, building their clientele all the way to their own booth. And then from there, they can become the owner. So the money grow after you exceed different phase in the nail career. But the truth is, there's a lot of expense that we have to pay out. It's not always rainbows and flowers. And as you know, nails, there are good days and bad days. There are slow days. Like right now, October, the month where there's a lot of people still in school, holidays getting ready, and they don't want to spend the money. And those slow days sucks, because imagine you make a good day and then you got 4 slow day after that. That good day, all the money you make kind of have to balance it out to all the other slow day. You see what I'm saying? Like if you have a job as a wage and you're getting paid by the hour, slow or not, you still getting paid the same. And that's what California is trying to do to these nail techs and hairstylists, but they don't realize it's a different kind of job. And we're going to talk about that eventually on another topic, but I just need y'all to be clear that that's how nail technician gets paid. We don't really make that much. And even if you see nail technician, you be like, oh, they always wearing brand name clothing, brand name purse. Well, you know what? Anybody can wear brand name clothing or purse as long as you save, you know how to manage your financial, then you can have whatever you want. It's not what you make, but it's how you make it. You know what I mean? But that's how we get paid, y'all. Commission, wage, and a lot of nail tech out there, they hustle hard. That's why you see a lot of nail tech working 6, even 7 days a week, long hour, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Why? Is because being a nail tech, that's what you have to have patience for. You never know. Sometimes it could be a slow morning and busy night. Sometimes it could be a busy morning and a slow night. You never know. You just have to stick around and wait for the next client to serve. And that's how we do it as nail tech, y'all. Thank you for listening. Let me know in the comment what you think about the pricing of nails, and what you think about what nail tech are charging, and what do you think about how nail techs are getting paid now that you understand the ins and out. And don't blame me if the price is too high, y'all. Blame Uncle Sam. Inflation is a bitch. Have a good one, y'all. See y'all next time.